All right. Now we're looking at question number 23 down here. Um, yeah, so let's go through some things first right here. First things first, the first column right here represents the value that you're looking for. So what happens right here, this says that the number 5 occurs 6 times in the distribution. So to make this a little bit clearer, what happens is that I had a set of numbers, say 5, 2, 3, 1, 5, 5, 7, not 7, 7 is not in distribution, 5, 2, 5, 5, say 5, 3, so forth and so on going. I have all these numbers and I want to organize these numbers right here. Well, if you look carefully, so far what I have is I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The number 5 occurs 6 times, or the frequency of the number 5 is 6. And so right here, this right here tells us what data I'm looking at. I'm looking at data point 5. And then this one right tells us how many. Frequency again simply measures how many. So 5 occurs 6 times. In the data set, the number 4 occurs 7 times, the number 3 occurs 8 times, the number 2 occurs 3 times, and the number 1 occurs twice. Right? And so this right here is what we call a data summary. Instead of me giving you all of the raw data, I'm summarizing the data in a table format. All right. Now, when you have the summarized data right here, and you're trying to complete the relative frequency and cumulative frequency, I always suggest to my students that you do the cumulative frequency first. Again, frequencies count, therefore cumulative frequency is the total count. And so, looking at this box right here, if you draw a line across right here, the cumulative frequency would be the sum of all the frequencies up until that line, up until that point. And so in this case right here, there's just one number, and that one number right here is 6. And so my cumulative frequency is going to be 6. Move down to the next one. So my line is now going to come here because I'm at the next box going down. And now I'm going to add up all the numbers until I get to that point. So 6 plus 7 is 13. And so the cumulative frequency at this point is going to be 13. Then I go a little bit further. So I'm doing the next box. And so now I'm going to be adding these numbers up. 6 plus 7 is 13. 13 plus 8 is 21. And so forth and so on. The next one right here, add 3. 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 3 is going to be 24. And then the last one, 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 3 plus 2 is going to be 26. And so that completes the first piece of the table. The important thing right here, and the reason why we do the cumulative frequency first, is that the last number right here is always going to be the total number of values. That's always going to be, there were 26 numbers in this data set. Numbers being either 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, but there are 26 numbers in total. The reason why you need to do this column first to get that total is the relative frequency is taking the frequency and dividing it by the total. And so your relative frequency is going to be the frequency for that score divided by the total, your total frequency. And so for the first one, that's going to be 6 divided by 26. On my handy dandy calculator, 6 divided by 26 is 0.23. Here I am rounding to here I am rounding to 2 decimal places. you do need to read the question's instructions. And so the next one will be 7 divided by 26. 7 divided by 26, and that is 2.7 rounded, 0.27 rounded, and so forth and so on. You simply divide each of them. And again, this simply gives us the percentage of the that value. So this means right here, for example, that 23% of the numbers are the number 5. All right? All right then.